Right now, the world may be closer to a massive global conflict than most people realize. What started as tensions involving Iran is now quietly pulling in countries across the Middle East and even beyond. But here's the scary part. This is no longer just one war. It's becoming a chain reaction. So the real question is, how many countries are actually involved, and how close are we to something much bigger? Today, we're breaking down the Iran war, not just who's fighting, but how far this conflict has spread. Because what you're about to hear might completely change how you see this situation. This is the core conflict. At the center of everything is Iran. On one side, Biki Iran and its regional allies. On the other, the United States and Israel. This alone is already a dangerous combination because these are not just ordinary countries. These are powerful military forces with advanced weapons, intelligence networks, and global influence. But the conflict didn't stay between them for long. How the war spreads. As tensions escalated, more countries started getting involved. Some were directly attacked. Others responded with military action. Now we're seeing countries like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, all caught in the crossfire. Missiles, drones, airstrikes. The battlefield is no longer one location. It's spread across an entire region. Even military bases in places like Qatar and Bahrain have been on high alert. And that's when things started to get even more serious. Now the global impact. Because this war isn't just about bombs and missiles. It's affecting the entire world. Oil prices are rising fast. Shipping routes are under threat, and global economies are starting to feel the pressure. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important oil routes in the world, is now at risk. If that gets blocked, fuel prices could skyrocket worldwide. The economies could struggle, and millions of people could be affected. Countries like China, India, Japan, the UK, they may not be fighting, but they are definitely feeling the impact. The big question is how many countries? So let's break it down clearly. Around 12 to 15 countries are already directly involved. Over 20 countries are being affected globally, and that number could rise fast. Because alliances matter. If one country escalates, others could be forced to respond. The bigger fear of the war. Here's what makes this situation truly dangerous. It's unpredictable. One wrong move, one major strike, could pull even more powerful nations into the conflict. And history has shown us that's exactly how larger wars begin. Not suddenly, but step by step. So the next time you hear about the Iran war, remember this. Not just one country fighting another. Yet a growing network of conflict, and the world is watching closely. The question now is, will it calm down, or is this just the beginning of something much bigger? What if everything we're seeing right now is only the beginning? Because behind the headlines, something bigger may already be unfolding. The real danger isn't what has happened, it's what could happen next. This is the scenario, the war. It's regional war, the first possible outcome, a full-scale Middle East war. If tensions continue rising, countries already involved could go all in. We're talking about massive airstrikes, coordinated missile attacks, ground forces entering conflict zones. And once that happens, won't stay contained. Alliances will activate, and suddenly, what started as a conflict becomes a regional war. Global powers step in. Now here's where it gets even more serious. What if global superpowers get involved? Countries like China, Russia, Western allies, they may not be directly fighting now, but if their interests are threatened, they could step in, and once multiple global powers are involved, you're no longer looking at a regional conflict, you're looking at something much bigger. What if economic collapse trigger? Not all wars are fought with weapons, some are fought through the economy. If this conflict disrupts oil supply long enough, the global economy could take a serious hit. Fuel prices rise, food costs increase, businesses struggle, and everyday people feel the pressure the most. This is the kind of impact that spreads faster than war itself. Another scenario is sudden de-escalation. But here's something many people don't consider. What if things suddenly calm down? Back-channel talks, diplomacy, pressure from global leaders could slow things down. Because at the end of the day, no one truly wants a full-scale war. But the problem is, it only takes one mistake to ruin everything. Now the real truth, here's the truth. No one can predict exactly what will happen next, but we do know this. The situation is fragile, the stakes are high, and the world is watching closely. We are at a point where one decision could change everything. So what happens next? That's the question no one can answer yet. But one thing is clear, this story is far from over. And if things escalate, the impact could be felt across the entire world. Every war eventually ends. But another real question is, how will this one end? Because the outcome of this conflict could shape the future of the world for years to come. Now, we're facing the final question. How does this actually end? And the truth is, there are only a few possible outcomes. Best case scenario, diplomatic end. Let's start with the best case scenario. Diplomacy wins. Behind the scenes, world leaders begin negotiations. Back-channel talks, secret meetings, pressure from global powers. Slowly, tensions begin to drop. Missile strikes stop, troops pull back, and agreements are reached. It wouldn't be perfect, but it would prevent something far worse. Because in reality, most countries want to avoid a full-scale war. Middle scenario, long war. Now, the more realistic outcome, a long, drawn-out conflict. Not one massive explosion, but months or even years of tension. Small attacks, retaliation, cyber warfare, proxy battles. The kind of conflict that never fully explodes, but never truly ends either. And during this time, the world slowly feels the damage. Economies weaken, prices rise, uncertainty grows. This is the kind of war that drains everyone. Worst case scenario, global escalation. Now, the scenario no one wants to imagine, full global escalation. If major powers get directly involved, this conflict could spiral out of control. More countries, more weapons, more destruction. And at that point, it's no longer just a regional war. It becomes something much bigger, something history has seen before, but no one wants to experience again. Now to the human impact. But beyond politics, beyond strategy, there's something we can't ignore. The human cost. Families displaced, cities damaged, lives changed forever. Because at the end of the day, war isn't just about countries, it's about people. To the same question, how will this end? The truth is, it depends on the choices being made right now. Leaders, decisions, timing, everything matters. And while the world watches, the future is still being written. If you followed this entire series, you now understand something most people don't. This isn't just news, this is history in the making. Like the video, comment your prediction. Subscribe to Legal TV for more deep breakdowns, because we'll keep bringing you the truth step by step.